Hello, my loving children. Welcome to your geography class. This is your last part of the this chapter number 6, rocks. So today we'll be doing the last topic, that is the significance or the economic significance of different rocks, as well as we'll have a short brief on the comparative study of different types of rocks, right? So let's get started. Significance. So significance means what? Significance means importance, economic importance of different types of rocks. So let's talk about most of the human activities are performed on the rock sphere of the earth. Therefore, rocks had a great significance for human beings. Formation of soil. Rocks, different types of rocks are the source of soil, right? So the rocks provide parent material for the soils. Soil is a complex mixture of minerals and organic matter, and it supports growth of all types of plants. Bulk of the soil comprises of the minerals that are derived through weathering of rocks. Weathering is a process of disintegration. Disintegration means breaking up, right? Breaking up and chemical transformation of rock material. Thus, all agricultural production on the surface of the earth depends indirectly upon the rocks. So from rocks we get minerals. And we know soils, that means soil is what? Soil is a complex of mixture of what? Mixture of minerals and organic matter that we get from different types of soil. Right? So soil, in simple way we can say rocks help in forming soil. Clear? Okay. So weathering is a very important essential part or essential process in the formation of soil. And weathering, you all know weathering is what? Weathering is the removal, or it's a process of disintegration. Disintegration means breaking up and chemical transformation of rock material. Now, storehouse of minerals. Rocks are storehouse of minerals, right? The rocks contain a variety of minerals. Some of the rocks have a huge content of certain minerals, and these minerals are obtained from such rocks. Such a rock having a large content of a particular mineral is called an ore of the mineral. In the first part of this chapter, I told you about the ore of a mineral. So ore is that through which we get or we obtain certain mineral, right? So we obtain all minerals from different rocks. Sedimentary rocks are especially rich in organic minerals like coal and petroleum, as well as natural gas, right? So we can say sedimentary rocks is the the parent rock for the formation of natural gas, petroleum, and all petroleum and your coal is your sedimentary rock. So sedimentary in sedimentary rock we get natural gas, we get petroleum, and we get what? We get coal, right? Most of the metallic minerals like iron, copper, bauxite, lead, zinc, and gold are obtained from the igneous and the metamorphic rocks. Precious stones like diamond, ruby, and emerald are also obtained from the igneous and metamorphic rocks. Many of the minerals are used as industrial raw materials to make products like cement, glass, chemical fertilizers. Limestones, clay, gypsum are examples of such rocks. Okay, we know that we obtain various metallic minerals. So metallic minerals, I told you, the rocks from which we get metallic minerals means the minerals from which we get metals. So metallic minerals like your zinc, lead, bauxite, copper, iron, gold are obtained from igneous as well as your metamorphic rocks, right? Okay, now let's talk about the various precious stones. So precious stones like ruby, emerald, and your zircon, and your diamond, these all we get from metamorphic rocks, right? And in sedimentary rocks we get what? Mineral, like coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Clear? Okay, now many of the minerals, except these, many of the minerals, they are source of, or source of industries, or they serve as a raw materials to make products in different kinds of industries like cement industry, fertilizer industry, glass industry, and limestone, clay, gypsum are the examples. Like these are the name of um, those rock which are the which provide raw materials for the industries, right? For examples, limestone, clay, gypsum, these are the different kinds of rocks which are the source of, or which are the source to provide raw materials for different kinds of industries. Now let's talk about the building material. A number of rocks are used as a building material for the construction of houses, roads, dams, etc. Some of the building stones, some of the building materials are used for the construction of houses, roads, and dams, as I told you. And some of the building stones have a large demand, and they are considered as considered quite valuable, right? So marble and granite are such examples of high-priced building materials. They are not only durable means they are not only long-lasting, but also provide an attractive finish to the buildings, right? That is why most of the people, most of the population, they prefer marble in constructing their homes and houses, right? However, only the rich people use such building materials, because marble is that rock which is very attractive and durable, right? So rich people, generally rich people, they prefer marble. The poor people obtain building material for their houses from the common rocks such as sandstone, quartzite, and other minerals like limestone. So poor people, they prefer these type of rocks, and the rocks thus fulfill demand, or fulfill a number of human needs and human demands, right? Okay, so now let's move to the next topic, that is, let's have a brief study of the igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. So let's have a comparative study between these three rocks. So let's have, the first one is igneous rocks. Then we have sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rock. Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks, these are formed by cooling and solidification of magma as well as lava, right? That is igneous rocks. Sedimentary rocks, these are formed by erosion, transportation and deposition, and consolidation of sediments brought down by rivers and other agents like heavy downpour or rainfall, river, or strong winds, etc. Metamorphic rocks, these are formed due to action of intense heat and pressure on pre-existing rocks. So this is not mentioned here, just do write in your book. These are formed due to action of intense heat and pressure on pre-existing rocks. So pre-existing rocks, that means igneous and sedimentary rocks. Next, these are made up of crystals, and these are formed in layers. As I told you, very significant feature we have in sedimentary rocks, that is, these are found in layers. We call it stratified rocks, right? And here these are very hard. Metamorphic rocks are generally very hard in comparison to sedimentary and igneous rocks. Now metallic minerals are found in these rocks. Non-metallics are found here. And precious stones, precious gems like diamonds, ruby and other metallic minerals are found in these metamorphic rocks. Now basalt and granite are the examples. Then here we have limestone and coal, and here the examples are diamond and marble. These are the examples of metamorphic rocks, right? Here basalt and granite, and here we have coal and limestone, and here we have examples diamond and marble, right? So examples will not consider as a comparison between these three rocks, but so you'll not write in comparison, right? If the question is like what are the three differences between igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks, in that 3 points you are not going to write examples, because examples we don't consider as an answer for that question, answer to that question. Clear? Okay. Okay, children, before moving to the glossary, let's discuss about this chart which is given here in your book at page number 63, right? So here it's given rock type, then formation and examples are given. So rock type, mechanically formed sedimentary rocks. They are formed through consolidation of gravel, sand, silt and clay sediments, and examples are sandstone, shale and clay. Chemically formed sedimentary rocks, these are formed by precipitation of minerals from water, and the examples are gypsum and salt, rock salt. And third is organically formed sedimentary rocks. These are derived from the remains of dead plants and animals and plants and organisms. So examples are coal and peat. So peat is also a variety of coal. So this chart is given here. You just go through it. And rocks and minerals, this comparative chart we have already done, right? And types of rocks, this chart is also done. Okay, now let's move to a glossary and important terms related to this chapter, that is rocks. So the first term is igneous rocks. So what is igneous rocks? Rock, that is the term igneous comes from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. So igneous rocks are those which are formed by solidification and cooling of the molten materials or lava ejected from the interior of the earth. So we can say igneous igneous rocks are what? Igneous rocks are those rocks which are formed by solidification and cooling of lava or magma, right? Now next we have next term is magma, a molten material beneath or within the earth's surface, earth's crust, from which igneous rock is formed, that is magma. Lava, volcanic material deposited on the surface or above the surface of the earth is called lava. Sedimentary rocks are formed through consolidation of accumulated sediments deposited in large or huge depressions. Depression means ditch, like sea or lakes. Metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are formed through the process of metamorphism, and I told you metamorphism, the process of metamorphism, that means the process of intense heat and intense pressure, that when it intense heat and intense pressure exerted or subjected to pre-existing rocks, it tends to convert into another type of rock that is known as metamorphic rock. So that is metamorphism. So the term metamorphism means alteration or transformation, or it's a changed form. Now next we have rock cycle. Rocks forming the crust of the earth change from one type to another due to various processes, right? And this change of rocks from one type of to another type, that cyclic process is known as rock cycle. Clear, children? Okay. Children, one important thing is there, from 13th of June, you'll get your summer break. And summer break doesn't mean that you are killing your time or you are wasting your time like this only. Those who have already submitted their assignments, home assignments, they are supposed to revise all the chapters, all the exercises, question answers, and all the work they have done, right? And those students who have not submitted or who have not started yet their work, they are supposed to start their work, complete their work, and please send those work to the concerned teachers as soon as possible. Otherwise, the result of those students would be affected. And I hope that you are old enough, mature enough to understand our words, isn't it? So that's all for the day. Soon we'll meet in the next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.